So, for our last resource speaker, we now welcome our reactor who will share insights and reflections from the perspective of the National Solid Waste Management Commission. Joining us this afternoon is the Executive Director and the National uh, Solid Waste Commission Secretariat in concurrent capacity as Chief from the Solid Waste Management Division, Ms. Maria Delia Cristina M. Valdez. As the reactor for this afternoon, she will offer her reflections on today's discussions and share how the Commission's work contributes to advancing sustainable solid waste management and addressing the country's plastic pollution challenge. Once again, please join me in warmly welcoming Miss Maria Dalia Cristina Valdez. Makakalikasang araw po.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Magandang hapon. Isang makakalikasang hapon sa ating lahat. Thank you for inviting us to be part of the 433rd session ng Kamayan para sa Kalikasan Forum. Thank you sa mga unang speakers, ang gagaling nila. Si Miss Michelle, hi ma'am. Kita uli po tayo dito. Si Miss Shay ng Eco Waste Coalition, and then si Miss Laarni ng Back to Basics. Ang gagaling ng speakers natin actually. Ang dami kong natutunan, ang dami kong nalaman, ang dami. Incidentally, ako po ay kliyente ni Back to Basics. Ako po ay pumupunta sa kanila para may minimal grocery din na ginagawa. So sa DENR po, kinikilala ng DENR na ang plastic pollution ay isa sa pinakamalaking environmental challenge sa ating bansa. Though yung challenge na ito ay malaki, pero malaki ang naitutulong naman ng plastic sa ating economy at pang-araw-araw na buhay. Ang patuloy na pagtaas ng produksyon, ng consumption at hindi tamang pagtapon ng plastic waste ang nagdudulot ng seryosong pollution sa ating ilog, baybayin, karagatan at ibang systems or ecosystems. Dahil dito, naapektuhan yung ating biodiversity, ang kalusugan ng tao, ang food security, fisheries, tourism, at maging ang ating climate resilience. I share with the thoughts of Ms. Shay. We would want to debunk talaga yung mga lumalabas na data na we are number 1 or number 3 or number 7, yung mga ilog natin na number 1 or number 3 tayo na nagpo-pollute, or number 1 or number 3 tayo sa marine polluters. We would want to debunk it. We would want to have our own data na ma-process natin na we can readily say, ito ang data namin, ito ang meron kami, this is what we are doing. Hindi totoo yung sinasabi ninyo. We are developing guidelines also dito sa EMB na magkaroon ng harmonized na pag-monitor ng marine litter. Marami kasing ginagamit na methodologies to measure yung marine litter natin. Hindi natin ma-compare ang isa sa isa kasi magkaibang methodologies. So we are developing said guidelines na pwede nating sabihin na pareho ang ginamit sa Iloilo at saka sa Metro Manila Bay. So this year, we will be issuing the said guidelines. Moving on, malinaw na ang plastic pollution ay hindi lamang usapin pang waste management. Isa itong environmental, economic at development challenge na nangangailangan ng coordinated action sa buong plastics value chain. Mula sa product design at production hanggang sa consumption, collection, recycling at final disposal. Kami dito sa DENR naniniwala na ang pangmatagalang solusyon ay ang paglipat mula sa traditional na take, make, and dispose model patungo sa circular economy model, kung saan ang plastic producers ay idedesenyo ang kanilang products para magamit uli, madaling ma-recycle at ma-recover habang pinapapaliit ang paglikha ng basura sa pinagmumulan pa lamang. So sa ngayon, kanina nabanggit na meron tayong dalawang law, yung Ecological Solid Waste Management Act at saka yung Extended Producer Responsibility Act of 2000. Dito sa EPR, nag-uubliga sa malalaking kumpanya na mabawi ang lumalaking bahagi ng kanilang plastic packaging waste at hinihikayat yung upstream measures or upstream interventions tulad ng redesign, reduction, reuse, refill systems at improve recyclability. Dito sa totoo yung sinabi ni Ma'am kanina na ni Ma'am Laarni na ang ah, compliance sa RA 11898 nakatungo ngayon sa downstream measures. Pero right now, or yung downstream measures meaning recovery and diversion for recycling, co-processing, and proper upcycling. Pero sa ngayon po, meron kaming help from a development partner to develop guidelines on the upstream measures naman kung paano natin bibilangin ang compliance ng obliged enterprise dito sa EPR. We are being supported by Plastic Reboot for upstream measures like refill and labeling. Baka pwede na nating magamit ngayon kung paano natin i-measure ang compliance ng isang obliged enterprise if they use refill or labeling or refill or reuse. And we are also being assisted by the same project doon sa proper labeling naman. Together with DFA, we'll be issuing guidelines also kung paano yung proper refill without affecting also the consumers. So sa RA 9003, mahigpit naman natin na ina-encourage or mahigpit natin sinasabi na tayo ay mag-segregate at source at kailangan merong segregated collection, palakasin ng materials recovery facility at pagsasara ng mga open dump sites. Sa ngayon, mas matibay yung pakikipagtulungan sa mga local government units, sa mga producers, sa producer responsibility organizations, sa mga recyclers, at sa mga waste workers upang mapahusay yung ating plastic recovery system. Incidentally, sa EPR, while hindi namin mention sa EPR law, we also would want to encourage obliged enterprises to have just transition and also social inclusion. In that way, no one is left behind. So sa mga susunod na taon, lalo pang pag-iintingin ng DENR ang hakbang laban sa plastic pollution sa pamamagitan ng una, yung palakasin natin yung circular economy policies. Marami ng local government units na nag-undertake ng circular economy. To name a few, meron tayo sa Quezon City, sa Baguio, and kanina na-mention na ni Ma'am Michelle, may mga different initiatives na with other local government units, Muntinlupa, Parañaque, as far as Mati at sa Baseco. There are several initiatives by local government units. Yun nga lang po yun ay patse-patse. We need to have a collective effort on that. And then, syempre, palalakasin natin ang EPR implementation, pagbubutihin natin ang monitoring and verification of recovery targets. Kanina nabanggit ni Ms. Shea na yung target under EPR hindi pa na-meet. Pero for the year 2025, ngayon pa lang po, June 30, yung submission ng EPR compliance audited report ng mga obliged enterprises. We are receiving reports then na ang compliance year na tina-target dito ay yung 2025. So yung report ng diversion from January 2025 to December 2025 are still being reported ngayong 2026. So the data na pwede naming ibigay sa inyo are compliances from 2023 and 2024 from their audited compliance report. So nung 2024, na-mention kanina ni Ms. Shea, dapat 40% yung na-divert. But based on the audited report submitted sa atin, it was surpassed, yung 40% na target na surpassed ng 55.98% both for rigids and flexibles. So paiigtingin pa natin yung magkaroon ng mga partnerships between the local government units, the PROs, the obliged enterprises para gamitin din ng local government units itong EPR as their opportunity to comply with RA 9003. So, isa rin sa nakikita nating difficulty is the presence or the lack of recycling facilities nationwide. Maraming LGUs ngayon sa halimbawa as far as Zamboanga, they would rather have the PET bottles as floaters rather than have it recycled or bring it up to some urban centers para ma-recycle. It also have a transport cost sa local government units. So isa yan sa tinitingnan namin to have partnership with the private sector kung tingnan natin paano ma-recover yung waste nila from the north to the south without much cost at the local government unit. So, ang aming support ngayon sa local government unit ay palawakin ang technical assistance para talagang makapag-comply sila sa mandatory requirements ng law, one of which is the strict segregation at source and segregated collection, which will eventually be brought to the materials recovery facilities. Nais din namin magkaroon ng partnership on research and innovation. Kanina maraming nabanggit ng innovation with DOST, and we would like to do some research. Ano ba yung pwede nating alternative sa ating mga ma-declare na non-environmentally and acceptable products? We need support from you, from the other sectors to develop some researches on what are those pwedeng maging alternative sa ating mga i-regulate na packaging. So kami rin sa DENR paninindigan namin yung layuning makamit ang isang kinabukasang ang plastic pollution ay napipigilan sa pinagmumulan pa lang at hindi lamang sa pinamamahalaan kapag naging basura na. Nais naming siguro my last few words. Plastic pollution is no longer just a waste management issue. It is a public health and environmental and economic challenge. And I think the best solution is to prevent plastic pollution at its source, not just manage it after it becomes waste. And that circularity or circular economy is no longer an option, and it is the direction that we must take. And we will support local government units, private sector, the academe, the civil society. We also want your support to help us put forward our goal of a circular economy and proper implementation of RA 9003 as well as the RA 11898. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, thank you po, Ms. Valdez, for the very insightful discussion, no? Yes, Sir David?
Napakadaming kailangan pang gawin, no? Talagang sabi niya ng government palagi, whole of nation approach ang kailangan dito. And I think the civil society organizations needs to be steadfast, no? Hindi lang sa pag-advocate, pag-point out ng mga issues, kundi siguro pag-suporta din sa mga projects and other ways forward, lalo na sa research na kailangan ng ating government.